The first book of Enoch. 1 Enoch. The Ethiopic book of Enoch. The book of Watchers, chapters 1 through 36. Chapter 1. The words of the blessing of Enoch, with which he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the days of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless people are to be removed from the earth. And he began his story saying, I am Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God, and who saw the vision of the Holy One in heaven, which the angel showed me. And I heard everything from them, and I saw and understood. But it was not for this generation to know, but for a remote one which is to come. As I began my story concerning the elect, I said, the Holy Great One will come out from his dwelling, and the eternal God will tread on the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and appear in the strength of his might from heaven. And all shall be very afraid. The watchers shall shake, and great fear and trembling shall seize them all the way to the ends of the earth. And the high mountains shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be laid low, and shall melt like wax in the flame. And the earth shall be completely torn apart, and all that is on the earth shall be destroyed, and there shall be a judgment on all. Revelations 21:7. He who overcomes will inherit all this, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, their place will be in the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall be on them. And they shall all belong to God, and they shall prosper, and they shall be blessed, and the light of God shall shine on them. Revelations 21:23. The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it, for the glory of God gives it light, and the Lamb is its light, and the Lamb is its lamp. The nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring their splendor into it. On no day will its gates ever be shut, for there will be no night there. And behold, he comes with 10,000 of his holy ones, saints, to execute judgment on all, and to destroy all the ungodly, wicked, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness, which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Jude 1:14. And Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, Behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Chapter 2. Observe everything that takes place in the sky, how the lights do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in heaven, how they all rise and set in order each in its season, proper time, and do not transgress, defy their appointed order. Consider the earth, and understand the things which take place on it from start to finish, how steadfast they are, how none of the things on the earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water, and clouds and dew and rain lie on it. Chapter 3. Observe and see how, in the winter, all the trees seem as though they had withered and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees, which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from 2 to 3 years until the new comes. Chapter 4. And again, observe the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth, and you seek shade and shelter because of the heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with growing heat, and so you cannot walk on the earth or on a rock because of its heat. Chapter 5. Observe how the trees are covered with green leaves, and how they bear fruit. Understand, know, and recognize that he that lives forever made them this way for you. And all his works go on before him from year to year forever, and all the work and the tasks which they accomplish for him do not change, and so is it done. Consider how the sea and the rivers in like manner accomplish their course, do not change because of his commandments. But you have neither held to, nor have you done the commandments of the Lord. But you have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your unclean mouths against his greatness. O you hard-headed, you shall find no peace. Therefore shall you curse your days, and the years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied, and in an eternal curse you shall find no mercy. Deuteronomy 11:26. See, I am setting before you today a blessing and a curse. The blessing if you obey the commands of the Lord, your God, that I am giving you today. The curse if you disobey the commands of the Lord, your God, and turn from the way that I command you today by following other gods, which you have not known. In those days you shall make your names an eternal curse to all the righteous, and by you shall all who curse, and all the sinners and godless shall curse you forever. And for you, the godless, there shall be a curse, and all the elect shall rejoice, and there shall be forgiveness of sins, and mercy, and peace, and forbearance, and joy. There shall be salvation for them, and a good light. And for all of you sinners, there shall be no salvation. But on you all shall abide a curse. But for the elect there shall be light, and joy, and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. And then wisdom shall be given to the elect, and they shall all live, and never again sin, either through forgetfulness or through pride. But those who are given wisdom shall be humble. And they shall not again transgress, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, nor shall they die of the anger or wrath of God, but they shall complete the number of the days of their lives. And their lives shall be increased in peace, and their years will grow in joy and eternal gladness and peace, all the days of their lives. Isaiah 65. I am sought of them that ask not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in gardens, and burneth incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh, and broth of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day. Behold, It is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense, even recompense into their bosom, your iniquities and the iniquities of your fathers together, saith the Lord, which have burned incense upon the mountains, and blasphemed me upon the hills. Therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. Thus saith the Lord, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do for my servants' sakes, that I may not destroy them all. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains. And mine elect shall inherit it, and my servants shall dwell there. Chapter 6. And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born to them beautiful and fair daughters. Genesis 6:1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. And the angels, the sons of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and have children with them. And Simjazah, who was their leader, said to them, I fear you will not agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of this great sin. And they all answered him and said, let us swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual curses, so we will not abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then they all swore together and bound themselves by mutual curses. And they were in all 200 who descended in the days of Jared, in the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual curses on the act. Jude 1:5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not, and the angels who kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day. And these are the names of their leaders: Semlazaz, their leader, Arakbah, Ramael, Kokablo, Tamlo, Ramlo, Danel, Ezekiel, Barakijal. Author's note: Samlazaz could be another spelling of Semjazah, and possibly be the same entity. Azael, Amaros, Batarel, Ananel, Zakiel, Samsapiel, Satarel, Turel. These are their chiefs of tens. Chapter 7. And all of them together went and took wives for themselves, each choosing one for himself, and they began to go into them and to defile themselves with sex with them. Genesis 5:32. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the angels taught them charms and spells, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And the women became pregnant, and they bare large giants, whose height was 300 cubits, ells. 1 Qumran 23, fragment 9 plus 14 plus 15, Codex corrupted. They knew the secrets of Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted, and sin was great in the earth. Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted, and they killed many. Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. They begat giants. Codex corrupted. Jubilees 7. Because of these three things came the flood on the earth, namely, the fornication that the watchers committed against the law of their ordinances when they went whoring after the daughters of men, and took themselves wives of all they chose, and they made the beginning of uncleanness. And they begat sons, the nephilim, and they were all dissimilar, and they devoured one another. And the giants killed the Nephil, and the Nephil killed the Eljo, and the Eljo killed mankind, and one man killed one another. Every one committed himself to crime and injustice, and to shed much blood, and the earth was filled with sin. After this they sinned against the beasts and birds, and all that moved and walked on the earth. And much blood was shed on the earth, and men continually desired only what was useless and evil. And the Lord destroyed everything from the face of the earth, because of the wickedness of their deeds, and because of the blood they had shed over all the earth. He destroyed everything. The giants consumed all the work and toil of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. 4 Qumran 531, fragment 3, Codex corrupted. Everything that the earth produced, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. The great fish, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. The sky with all that grew, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. Fruit of the earth and all kinds of grain and all the trees, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. Beasts and reptiles, Codex corrupted. All creeping things of the earth, and they observed all, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. Every harsh deed and Codex corrupted. Utterance, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. Male and female, and among humans, Codex corrupted. And they began to sin against birds and beasts, and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drank the blood. 1 Qumran 23, fragment 1 plus 6, Codex corrupted. 200 donkeys, 200 asses, 200, Codex corrupted. Rams of the flock, 200 goats, 200, Codex corrupted. Beasts of the field from every animal, from every bird, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. For miscegenation, inbreeding of people considered to be of different races, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. 4 Qumran 531, fragment 2, Codex corrupted. They defiled, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. Codex corrupted. They begot giants and monsters, Codex corrupted, Codex corrupted. They begot, and Behold, all the earth was corrupted, codex corrupted, codex corrupted, with its blood and by the hand of, codex corrupted, giants which did not satisfy them and, codex corrupted, codex corrupted, and they were seeking to devour many, codex corrupted, codex corrupted, codex corrupted. The monsters attacked it. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Jasher 2:19. For in those days the sons of man began to trespass against God, and to go contrary to the commandments which he had given Adam, to be prolific and reproduce in the earth. And some of the sons of men caused their wives to drink a mixture that would render them unable to conceive, in order that they might retain their figures, and their beautiful appearance might not fade. And when the sons of men caused some of their wives to drink, Zillah drank with them. And the childbearing women appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands, and they treated them as widows, while their husbands lived with those unable to conceive, and to those women they were attached. Genesis 4:8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and breastplates, and taught them about metals of the earth, and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of precious stones, and all coloring and dyes. And there was great impiety. They turned away from God, and committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Matthew 5:19, New International Version. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Semjaza taught the casting of spells and root cuttings. Amaros taught counter spells, release from spells. Barak-Kijal taught astrology. Kokabel taught the constellations, portents. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Arakiel, the signs of the earth. Shamsiel, the signs of the sun. And Sariel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Jasher 4:18. And their judges and rulers went to the daughters of men, and took their wives by force from their husbands, according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other, in order therewith to provoke the Lord. And God saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt. For all earth had corrupted its ways on earth, all men and all animals. And the Lord said, I will blot out man that I created from the face of the earth, yea, from man to the birds of the air together, with cattle and beasts that are in the field, for I repent that I make them. Before the Lord brought the evil on man which he had declared. For this was from the Lord, that they should not see the evil which the Lord spoke of concerning the sons of men. Chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all lawlessness being done on the earth. And they said to each other, "Let the cries from the destruction of earth ascend up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their petitions, saying, Bring our cause before the Most High." And they said to the Lord of the ages, "Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages, the throne of your glory endures through all the generations of the ages, and your name holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages." 1 Timothy 6:15 through 16. "Which in his times he shall shew, who is the blessed and only potentate, the King of kings and Lord of lords, who only hath immortality, dwelling in the light which no man can approach unto, whom no man hath seen, nor can see, to whom be honor and power everlasting. Amen. You have made all things, and you have power over all things, and all things are revealed and open in your sight, and you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. Look at what Azazel has done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were made and kept in heaven, which men were striving to learn. And Semjaza, who taught spells, to whom you gave authority to rule over his associates. And they have gone to the daughters of men on the earth, and have had sex with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. Genesis 6:5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his hearts was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying out, and making their petition to the gates of heaven, and their lament has ascended, because of the lawless deeds which are done on the earth. And you know all things before they come to pass, and you see these things, and you have permitted them, and say nothing to us about these things. What are we to do with them about these things? Revelation 6:10, New International Version. They called out in a loud voice, "How long, sovereign Lord, holy and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood?" Chapter 10. Then said the Most High, the great and holy one, Uriel, go to the son of Lamech. Say to him, go to Noah, and tell him in my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a flood is about to come on the whole earth, and will destroy everything on it. Genesis 7:4. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And now instruct him as to what he must do to escape, that his offspring may be preserved for all the generations of the world. Genesis 6:13. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And again, The Lord said to Raphael, "Bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and split open the desert, which is in Durael, and cast him in, and fill the hole by covering him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him live there forever, and cover his face that he may not see the light." Revelation 21. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be hurled into the fire. Revelation 19:20, King James Version. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And heal the earth which the angels have ruined, and proclaim the healing of the earth. For I will restore the earth, and heal the plague, that not all of the children of men may perish, through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed, and have taught their sons. Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. The whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. To Gabriel said the Lord, "Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers. Cause them to go against one another, that they may destroy each other in battle. Shorten their days." Genesis 6:7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. No request that the watchers their fathers make of you shall be granted them on their behalf, for they hope to live in eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, Go, bind Semjaza and his team who have associated with women and have defiled themselves in all their uncleanness. When their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations under the hills of the earth, until the day of the consummation of their judgment, and until the eternal judgment is accomplished. Author's note: 70 generations of 500 years equals 3,500 years. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, and to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. Then Semjaza shall be burnt up with the condemned, and they will be destroyed, having been bound together with them to the end of all generations. Fragment from the Book of Giants. And he answered, I am a giant, and by the mighty strength of my arm, and my own great strength, I can defeat any one mortal, and I have made war against them. But I am not strong enough for our heavenly opponent, or to be able to stand against them. For my opponents, phrase omitted, reside in heaven, and they dwell in the holy places, and not on the earth, and they are stronger than I, phrase corrupted. The time of the wild beast has come, and the wild man calls me. Then Oya said to him, I have been forced to have a dream, and the sleep of my eyes vanished in order to let me see a vision. Now I know that on Gilgamesh our futures rest. Destroy all the spirits of lust and the children of the Watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the earth be planted with righteousness, and let the plant of righteousness and truth appear. And it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. Genesis 6:7. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. And then shall all the righteous survive, and shall live until they beget thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. Genesis 8:22. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Genesis 9:1. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And then shall the whole earth be untilled in righteousness, and shall be planted with trees, and be full of blessing. And all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it. And the vine which they plant shall yield fruit in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown, each measurement of it shall bear 1,000. And each measurement of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. You shall cleanse the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness, and all the uncleanness that is brought on the earth, you shall destroy from off the earth. Author's note. Meanwhile, the Nephilim are having dreams and visions. 2 Qumran 26. They drenched the tablet in the water. The waters went up over the tablet. They lifted out the tablet from the water of. 4 Qumran 530, fragment 7. This vision is for cursing and sorrow. I am the one who confessed it. The whole group of the castaways that I shall go to. The spirits of the slain complaining about their killers and crying out that we shall die together and be made an end of. Much and I will be sleeping, and bread for my dwelling. The vision and also entered into the gathering of the giants. 6 Qumran 8. Oya, and he said to Mawe, without trembling, Who showed you all this vision, my brother? Barakel, my father, was with me. Before Mawe had finished telling what he had seen, said to him, Now I have heard wonders. If a barren woman gives birth, 4th Qumran 530. Thereupon Oya said to Haya, to be destroyed from upon the earth and the earth, when they wept before the giants. Fourth Qumran 530, fragment 7. your strength. After that, Oya said to Haya. Then he answered, It is not for us, but for Azael, for he did. The children of angels are the giants, and they would not let all their proved ones be neglected. We have not been cast down. You have strength. 4th Qumran 531, Fragment 1. I am a giant, and by the mighty strength of my arm, and my own great strength, any one mortal, and I have made war against them, but I am not able to stand against them, for my opponents reside in heaven, and they dwell in the holy places, and not. They are stronger than I. Of the wild beast has come, and the wild man they call me. Then Oya said to him, I have been forced to have a dream. The sleep of my eyes vanished to let me see a vision. Now I know that on Gilgamesh, 6 Qumran 8, Fragment 2. 3 of its roots, while I was watching, there came. They moved the roots into this garden, all of them, and not. 4th Qumran 530, Column 2. Concerns the death of our souls, and all his comrades, and Oya told them what Gilgamesh said to him. And it was said, concerning, the leader has cursed the potentates, and the giants were glad at his words. Then he turned and left. Thereupon 2 of them had dreams, and the sleep of their eye fled from them, and they arose and came to, and told their dreams, and said in the assembly of their comrades, the monsters, in my dream I was watching this very night, and there was a garden. Gardeners, and they were watering. 200 trees and large shoots came out of their root. All the water and the fire burned all the garden. They found the giants to tell them the dream. All the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration and shall praise me, and all shall worship me, and the earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment, and I will never again send another flood from this generation to all generations and forever. Chapter 11. And in those days I will open the storehouse of blessings in heaven, and rain down blessings on the earth, and over the work and labor of the children of men. Malachi 3:10, King James Version. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the window of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Truth and peace shall be united throughout all the days of the world, and throughout all the generations of men. Chapter 12. Then Enoch disappeared, and no one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he abode. Genesis 5:21. And Enoch lived 65 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God after he begat Methuselah 300 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. And what had become of him? And his activities were with the holy ones and the watchers. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages. And lo, the watchers called me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, you scribe of righteousness, go, tell the watchers of heaven who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of earth do, and have taken to themselves wives. You have done great destruction on the earth, and you shall have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. Since they delight themselves in their children, they shall see the murder of their beloved ones, and the destruction of their children and they shall lament, and shall make supplication forever. You will receive neither mercy or peace. Author's note. Although we are led to believe the fallen angels are loathsome and evil, they loved and adored their children. Further, it was not the angels that became the demons. It was their children, whose spirits were evil and could not be killed. Chapter 13. And Enoch went and said, Azazel, you shall have no peace. A severe sentence has been passed against you, that you should be bound, and you shall not have rest or mercy, toleration nor request granted, because of the unrighteousness which you have taught, and because of all the works of godlessness, and unrighteousness and sin which you have shown to men. Then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they asked me to write a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness, and to read their petition in the presence of the Lord of heaven. They had been forbidden to speak with him, nor were they to lift up their eyes to heaven for shame of their sins, because they had been condemned. Then I wrote out their petition, and the prayer in regard to their spirits, and their deeds individually, and in regard to their requests that they should obtain forgiveness and forbearance. And I went off and sat down at the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, to the southwest of Hermon. I read their petition until I fell asleep. And I had a dream, and I saw a vision of their chastisement, and a voice came to me that I would reprove them. And when I awoke, I came to them, and they were all sitting gathered together, weeping in Abel's Jael, which is between Lebanon and Sinacer, with their faces covered. And I recounted to them all the visions which I had seen when I was asleep, and I began to speak the words of righteousness, and to reprimand heavenly watchers. Chapter 14. This is the book of the words of righteousness, and of the reprimand of the eternal watchers, in accordance with the command of the Holy Great One, in that vision I saw in my sleep. What I will now say with the tongue of flesh, and with the breath of my mouth, which the Great One has given to men to speak with it, and to understand with the heart, as he has created and given man the power of understanding the word of wisdom, so has he created me also, and given me the power of reprimanding the watchers, the children of heaven. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared that your petition will not be granted to you throughout all the days of eternity, and that judgment has finally been passed on you. Your petition will not be granted. From here on you shall not ascend into heaven again for all eternity, and you will be bound on earth for all eternity. Before this, you will see the destruction of your beloved sons, and you shall have no pleasure in them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. Your petition shall not be granted on their behalf or on yours, even though you weep and pray and speak all the words contained in my writings. In the vision I saw clouds that invited me and summoned me into a mist, and the course of the stars and the flashes of lightning and hurried me and drove me, And the winds in the vision caused me to fly and lifted me up and bore me into heaven. And I went in until I drew near to a wall which was built out of crystals and surrounded by tongues of fire, and it began to frighten me. I went into the tongues of fire and drew near a large house which was built of crystals. And the walls of the house were like a mosaic of hailstones, and the floor was made of crystals like snow. Revelation 4:6. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. Revelation 21:10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and shewed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descended out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Its ceiling was like the path of the stars, and lightning flashes, and between them were fiery cherubim. Their sky was clear as water, a flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its doors blazed with fire. I entered that house, and it was hot as fire, and cold as ice. There were no pleasures or life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling got hold of me. As I shook and trembled, I fell on my face, and I saw a vision. And lo, there was a second house, greater than the first, and there all the doors stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire. And in every respect it was splendid and magnificent to the extent that I cannot describe it to you. Its floor was of fire, and above it was lightning and the path of the stars, and its ceiling also was flaming fire. And I looked and saw a throne set on high. Its appearance was like crystals, and its wheels were like a shining sun. And there was the vision of cherubim. 1 Timothy 6:16. Who only hath immortality, dwelling in the light which no man can approach unto, whom no man hath seen, nor can see, to whom be honor and power everlasting. Amen. And from underneath the throne came rivers of fire, so that I could not look at it. Third book of Enoch. The holy Chiath carry the throne of glory from below. Each one uses only 3 fingers. The length of each finger is 800,000, and 700 times 100, and 66,000 parasangs. Underneath the feet of the Chiath there are 7 rivers of fire running and flowing. And he who is great in glory sat on the throne, and his raiment shone more brightly than the sun, and was whiter than any snow. Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. None of the angels could enter or could behold his face, because of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. The sea of fire surrounded him, and a great fire stood in front of him, and no one could draw close to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him, but he needed no holy counsel. The most holy ones who were near to him did not leave night or day, and until then I had been prostrate on my face, trembling, and the Lord called me with his own mouth and said to me, Come here, Enoch, and hear my word. And one of the holy ones came to me, picked me up, and brought me to the door, and I bowed down my face. Chapter 15. And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, Do not be afraid, Enoch, you righteous man and scribe of righteousness. approach and hear my voice. Go and say to the watchers of heaven, for whom you have come to intercede. You should intercede for men, and not men for you. Why and for what cause have you left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and had sex with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons? Though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And, as the children of men, you have lusted after flesh and blood, like those who die and are killed. This is why I have given men wives, that they might impregnate them, and have children by them, that deeds might continue on the earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. Therefore I have not appointed wives for you. You are spiritual beings of heaven, and in heaven was your dwelling place. Luke 20:34. And Jesus answering said unto them, The children of this world marry, and are given in marriage. But they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world, and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry, nor are given in marriage. Neither can they die any more, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God, being the children of the resurrection. And now the giants, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits on the earth, and shall live on the earth. Evil spirits have come out from their bodies, because they are born from men and from the holy watchers. Their beginning is of primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called, spirits of the evil ones. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, war, destroy, and cause trouble on the earth. They take no food, but do not hunger or thirst. They cause offenses, but are not observed. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men, and against the women, because they have produced from them in the days of the slaughter and destruction. Author's note: these are the evil spirits and demons. They are the disembodied spirits of the offspring of angels and humans. The Book of Jubilees. Because of these three things came the flood on the earth, namely, the fornication that the watchers committed against the law of their ordinances when they went whoring after the daughters of men, and took themselves wives of all they chose. And they made the beginning of uncleanness, and they begat sons, the nephilim, the fallen, and they were all dissimilar, and they devoured one another. And the giants killed the Nephil, and the Nephil killed the Eljo, and the Eljo killed mankind, and one man killed one another. Every one committed himself to crime and injustice, and to shed much blood, and the earth was filled with sin. After this they sinned against the beasts and birds, and all that moved and walked on the earth, and much blood was shed on the earth, and men continually desired only what was useless and evil. And the Lord destroyed everything from the face of the earth, because of the wickedness of their deeds, and because of the blood they had shed over all the earth. He destroyed everything.